Hello, and welcome to NAFDAC and Your Health, where we bring you all the important information you need about NAFDAC, the agency that is saddled with the responsibility of safeguarding the health of the nation by ensuring that the food, drugs, and medical equipment made available to us are wholesome and safe. My name is Amanda Ugo. On the first segment of today's edition of the program, we will be finding out what the 7 regulated products of NAFDAC are and why chemicals fall under the agency's purview as part of the regulated products. We will also get to know the importance of chemicals and why NAFDAC has been doing regulatory management of chemicals. We will take a peep into how the dealers of chemicals, particularly in the coolant and refrigeration sector, are adhering to NAFDAC's regulatory guidelines, as well as the necessity and benefits of associations in such a business venture. In the second segment, the recently held meeting between the management staff of NAFDAC, led by the agency's DG and the National Counter-Terrorism Center, to fashion out modalities for a renewed partnership will be our focus. As chemicals are essential for our use, they are delicate and can be dangerous. This is why it must be ensured that only genuine chemicals are made available and that they are properly handled, stored, and managed. This is why NAFDAC conscientizes the public that chemicals are part of its regulated products and also ensures that it employs the strategies of inspection, investigation, and enforcement, post-marketing surveillance, as well as sensitization to curb the activities of erring manufacturers and peddlers of unapproved regulated products who either deliberately circumvent the regulatory agency to sell unwholesome regulated products to the public or due to ignorance or lack of sensitization do not toll the lawful path in the course of dealing in NAFDAC's regulated products.
NAFDAC has 7 regulated products: food, drug, chemicals, cosmetics, medical devices, packaged water. Chemicals is one of them. For a company to start making or importing chemicals and for them not to know that they're supposed to register baffles me. However, let's assume that they don't know. We have stakeholders meeting that we organize, that the Chemical Evaluation and Research Directorate will organize. And it's not just chemical evaluation and research now. We have started a new thing in NAFDAC where we are bringing internal stakeholders together. Because if you are in chemical evaluation and research and you want to do stakeholders, it's not just your permit or importing and giving permit or knowing about the chemicals that are the only things that you need to know. You need to know the laboratory process, the analytical method. That doesn't mean you know it as somebody working in CER or chemical evaluation research, but you have to interact with your own colleague, director. So, it is not just a chemical evaluation and research. Laboratory will be there. Narcotics could be there because, narcotics are chemicals and sometimes they bring precursors, what you use to make a product. VMAP, veterinary medicine and allied product, should be in that internal stakeholder within NAFDAC type of meeting before this external stakeholder meeting takes place, so that everybody will contribute to the program. So the program will have more impact than just one directorate calling its customers. No. It is how does another directorate impact.
As the directorates of NAFDAC synergize for easy operations, they also have to be able to deal with the clients of the agency in groups or associations for easy information dissemination and sensitization.
When you are a chemical manufacturer or drug or food, you've got to join an association. We don't force a company to join a particular association, but a company must belong to an association. And I'm going to enforce that for drug companies or food companies or chemical or whatever, you must join an association so that when we are disseminating information, we can send it to the association, and the association will disseminate or distribute it among its members. It is easier to control when there's an association that is formed. Though we don't say join A association or B association, but a company must join, must be part of an association. But chemical manufacturers have their association, and we have had few stakeholders meeting, at least I've been present, a few stakeholders meeting with them. And the importance of chemicals is underscored at that meeting. The importance of doing things right is important at that meeting. You have restricted chemicals, you have unrestricted chemicals. Whether restricted or unrestricted, we have to do inspection of their warehouse. We have to, of course, get them in, import permit and whatnot. The storage condition, because our temperature can be harsh. So what may not break down in a temperate weather for 1 year, if you put it in a tropical environment, it may break down in 6 months. So the storage, good distribution storage is extremely, good storage condition rather, is extremely important. So that is where we come in, to sensitize our people, to teach them on how to handle chemicals. And if it is restricted chemicals, we've got to monitor it. If it's a restricted chemical, we have to monitor it when it comes in, when it's moving from one place to the other, because chemicals can be used to do many bad things. Some of them are precursors to narcotics. Some of them can be maybe precursors to making bombs. So to protect our nation, we are very stringent on management of chemicals, regulatory management of chemicals, which includes inspection, testing, post-approval. The fact that we have given somebody license doesn't mean we have to fold our arms. We have to keep checking to make sure that they are still abiding with the regulations.
In checking to see the level of compliance with the regulation, a combined team of NAFDAC's directorates beamed its spotlight on the Cooling Parts Dealers Association, the association of those who sell equipment and materials used for air conditioners and refrigerators, at Borno Way, Eputemeta, Lagos, recently.
The reason why we went for that operation is that there are a number of those operators there that have failed to comply with our regulations and our guidelines and the laws that are set up in the country for operators of those kind of businesses. What I mean by that is that a number of them were marketing and distributing those items without recourse to NAFDAC. They do not have authorization to do that. And in this country, before you can sell a chemical, you can distribute a chemical, you can import a chemical, or you can manufacture a chemical, you must have to get some kind of permit processing from NAFDAC. If you are importing, you have to have what we refer to as chemical import permit. If you are manufacturing, you have a listing certificate for manufacturers. And then if you are distributing or marketing, then you also have another listing certificate for marketers.
Some may ask, as long as the AC or refrigerator works, why bother whether the chemical used is not approved? Of course, we have to bother because selling of unapproved chemicals for our coolants has serious implications.
We have a number of them because they are not brought under regulation. These are the people that are involved in selling fake and counterfeit refrigerant gases to unsuspecting users, because they are not, we don't have their record, they don't come for regulation, and so we don't know them actually. So that's why we have to go there. They are the ones selling all those fake refrigerant gases that can destroy the vehicle AC system. And because of that, we want to ensure that everybody make sure everybody is selling and marketing and distributing approved refrigerant gases. That is refrigerant gases that we know the people that imported them. We also know the companies that imported them, and we know where those companies are. And we also have tested these refrigerant gases, and we know they are very, very good, and we know they are the approved refrigerant gases, because it's not every refrigerant gas that is out there that is approved, because they are hazardous to the environment. And that is why we restrict them. It's not only Nigeria, it's internationally that all these items are restricted. And yearly, we give declaration. What do I mean by declaration? Of the quantities that came in to Nigeria, the quantities that were imported, because we do not manufacture refrigerant gas. Though Nigeria is trying to do some, there are new type of refrigerant gas that are found available in our country now. So Nigeria do not manufacture this major one. Like there is RO22, Nigeria do not manufacture it. RO134A, Nigeria do not manufacture it. 406, RO1 406, RO404, and then 407, 410, and the rest of them. Now, talking about 406A, 406A has even been banned, completely banned. And so it's not supposed to even be brought in or distributed in the country. So a number of all these unscrupulous individuals were found to be distributing some of all this. That's why we have to go there. And a number of them were actually arrested, and the enforcement and investigative enforcement unit is actually looking into that very one, investigating them, and then after they have finished their processes, depending on how it goes, then they are expected. Those of them that are genuine, and for whatever reason they have not gotten their permit system, they are not coming to our permit regime, then we invite them, and then CRO should be able to process their permits, and that is what we are doing now. The federal government has put up a very simplified form of registration of all these things and of application. All that an applicant needed is just their email. Then from that email, they will have their TIN number. And then the TIN number, that is the tax identification number. And then they also have their password for it. If you have the TIN number, the password, that's what we are going to use. The username is the TIN number, and then you put your password. Why do you need the email? Because all issues, once you submit the application, it will register your email. If we have issued you if we are processing anything, we give you a compliance, it will register your email. If we ask you to maybe one correction or the other, is go to register your email. Then when it gets to the point that we have accessed it for payment, it will also get your email. And once the permit is issued from your email, you can print it. And the permit remains in your email any day, anytime. And you can get it anywhere you go to all over the world. You can even tell your clients and your shippers that I have this this thing. You can sign in and you get it. And it's permanently there. So it's very, very simple. Once you get the documentation right, then you apply. It is online. You do not need any special intervention of anybody. You don't need anybody to be consultant for you or for your company to be able to do it. You can do it in the comfort of your house, apply, and then you attach all the necessary documents. And the document will request for the CAC documents, and then the particulars of your technical officers, and then the address of your warehouse, and evidence of waste disposal, which is a requirement in this Lagos state, and things like that. Then, because we don't require even tax clearance again, because it's already on FIROS portal that we are signing in. The single window portal for trade, that is https:// and then trade. Trade as for trade.gov.ng. Then if you want to get NAFDAC, you say /NAFDAC. Then you will get it. And all these our guidelines we're talking about, they are in the NAFDAC website, nafdac.gov.ng/chemical. You are going to get all these guidelines we are talking about now, and you'll be able to apply. And if there is still issues, you can contact us. We have an LOD, that is the liaison office of the director, and they'll be able to help you. Our officers have been trained to answer whatever query and whatever question and inquiries.
We will be right back. Please don't go away.
As part of NAFDAC concerted effort to prevent incessant food poisoning and to safeguard the health of the nation, the agency wishes to advise the general public to take the following precautionary measures in food handling. Chemicals are not food, so do not taste with your tongue. It is dangerous to health and it can kill. It is dangerous to cook your meat with paracetamol or any drug. It can damage your liver, kidneys, or other organs. Do not ripen your fruits with calcium carbide. It can cause cancer or damage the kidneys or liver. It is dangerous to use sniper to keep insects and other flies away from any food products. Cooking does not remove sniper. Do not consume any mixture or herbal preparation that do not have NAFDAC number. It could be deadly. Too much monosodium glutamate food seasoning that comes as cube or in sachet can be dangerous to your health. Do not add any chemical to food or drink to make it sour or improve taste. Safe food. Everyone's business. NAFDAC. Safeguarding the health of the nation.
Welcome back. You are watching NAFDAC and Your Health. The Director General of NAFDAC and a team of the top management staff of the agency were recently at the launch of the new building and state-of-the-art facilities of the National Counter-Terrorism Center at the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, on the invitation of the center. The purpose of this invitation was to establish a working partnership with the National Counter-Terrorism Center and NAFDAC, as the two agencies have similar interests, which among others includes the fight against drug abuse, chemical misuse and alcoholism, which are part of the acts that breed terrorism. The Director General of NAFDAC, Professor Mojisola Adeyeye, expressed her appreciation to the leadership of the National Counter-Terrorism Center for the invitation and expressed her agency's readiness to work with the center.
The interaction has been very, very positive. About a year plus ago, somebody called me from the top that there is an abuse of tramadol. And because of that, we are now instituting what is called track and trace. We're using traceability. NAFDAC is the leading agency in Africa in terms of use of barcoding to trace where the medicine goes from the manufacturer to the user. Unless that user is not on planet Earth, we can trace it with our global location numbers or global positioning system, So that is what we are trying to do now. And why is it so important? Because of the altering of minds of narcotics that lead to extremism, terrorism, loss of lives, loss of livelihood. So this new center, to me, just shows integration. I instituted focus groups in NAFDAC because silo mentality was what we were doing, or sometimes we still do it. But like Rear Mira mentioned, we cannot work in silo. It is when we work together, we bring the relevant agencies or groups together that we get a lot of results. So the collaboration is guaranteed in terms of NAFDAC and the Counter-Terrorism Center, in terms of research, because we are also supposed to be doing research as an agency. It's part of our mandate. But we cannot do research alone. We have to do it in collaboration with other agencies or academia. So the growth of NAFDAC is leading us to higher grants. We have pockets in Nigeria, and that is where this collaboration will really be very useful.
The National Coordinator of NCTC, Rear Admiral Yamino Musa, had earlier given the background that culminated into the existence of the center. He highlighted the duties of the center and also explained that the meeting was organized to acquaint NAFDAC with the center's facilities and to draw the modalities of partnership between the two agencies.
It's only when we partner with you and you are aware that we can do some things on your behalf that it becomes useful. to us as a nation. We have had an engagement in the past, and some of those decisions that were taken, I also want to hear, to see to what extent have some of those decisions been implemented, and then to what extent has those decisions not been implemented, and what are those factors that are hindering it, so that we can review, because we are starting a new race. This is the right time for us to review our previous activity and then be able to re-strategize and then inform the incoming government on areas that we see need further push, further policy push, strategic categorization or plans. If we do it now and we do it right, we'll be setting the new government on that register to understanding us better and for us to be able to deliver more for the incoming government. So that's why this our engagement today is very timely. And let me say, without too much praises for NAFDAC, that though we have had an engagement with every stakeholders, that includes NAFDAC, this is the first engagement we are having strategically between the DG and the National Coordinator meeting together like this. So I want us to give ourselves a round of applause.
There were also discussions on how importation can be controlled, the necessary agencies to pass through when importing, and the documents to be obtained before importation can be deemed to be lawful.
The most important document that you have to present, apart from the CAC document, is actually NAFDAC permit to what? To import the items. So if we don't see a duly certified NAFDAC permit to import, you can't even get the end user certificate from us.
That's all we have for you on this edition of the program. Join us again, same time, same station next week for another edition. If you have comments, complaints, or you want to report any case of fake drugs or adulterated food peddlers, we are easily accessible.
You can reach NAFDAC via toll-free numbers. For inquiries, call 0700 162 3322. For complaints, call 0800 162 3322. You may also email NAFDAC at nafdac.gov.ng. If you have complaints about any form of misconduct, you can reach the Reforms Unit via email, reforms@nafdac.gov.ng, or call the Reforms hotlines on 0909 763 0506 or 0909 763 0507. NAFDAC, customer focused, agency minded.
Importing, producing, distributing, and selling of fake drugs and adulterated food products are criminal acts that endanger lives. Join us in the fight against this crime by reporting any suspicious activities in your area to NAFDAC. Let us be part of the effort to safeguard the health of our nation. Till we meet again next week, be safe.